to try to set this up so everybody behaves. So I'm gonna mute out for a second. Alright, guys, I'm here for a minute or two or 30 or whatever it ends up being. Um, just popped in the door. It's been a long day, pretty long night. Uh, I don't even know what that was. Anyway, also be giving an update shortly over in the community section on the other. Uh, Everything's good. So, anyway, Yeah, just popped in the door. And, I could, yeah, I've spent days, watching out with your stupid shit. Today, was sort of just like, really? And the cycle of fucking Tragedy Pimp apparently worked on a few thousand fake ass subs, views, clicks, whatever, too, on top of that. Definitely some manipulation and some sheep herding going on. I'm sure it worked out for some of you creators. At the end of it all, I hate that you're taking people for a run like this. I hate the sheeping. I hate all of it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stay where I was the other day. It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Continues to be the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Um, Anybody buying your all's bullshit or some of the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever seen. And, but hey, if people want to watch it as fucking entertainment, or even though it should not be so in this realm, and, if they're comfortable being taken for a ride, I don't know. It's all disheartening, disgusting, fucked up beyond, um, any good descriptors can manage tonight. Nah, yeah. Thing is, it isn't just the past, day or few days or anything else. It's years I've watched you all do the same shit to people, online, in and around these active and ongoing cases. It's also the audiences, it's everybody else in between, it's judicial system, it's courts, judges, tampering with, police, LE, feds, families, community members, witnesses, judge, jury pools, you name it, from top to bottom. Services of all varieties. Y'all are a sick bunch of fucking well organized criminals working in a organized fashion across several social media platforms. Can't tell me different. There's enough proof out there. Law enforcement, feds are well aware of it. Been calling out for years. It's no different in Summer's case, or Sebastian's, or Layla's, or Holland's, or any of the others. Okay? What's Jenkins this? Delphi, Idaho 4. Um, O'Keefe slash Reed, um, Jack and Lily's, Petitos, runs in Michael's, Harmonies. Hell, the other night, I heard Hellmouth was over calling Xanax. That, and I really got a clip, like, that shit's pretty disgusting. Heard there's about 4 sermons that night. Oh, and I believe she forgot which day was the Sabbath, but I'm sure nobody's gonna clip that. And then she really came live on part of the Sabbath, so it got weird here. And also, obviously that one played in this rodeo of the sheep and driving the lemurs too that night and several others. It's just like, nah, miss me with it. Today's rotation was something. It only took looking at titles and who was doing what right before, and I think I clicked into one of the smaller shit stains. Got 5 seconds in, realized that was it, and then I was like, imagine that. Imagine that. Knowing nothing else existed didn't make sense. There should be no reason for. And then I scanned across. Turns out, yeah, I was right. It's just advertising tool, right? Build up. It's all stupid. I don't give a flying shit about it. As far as what's current now, I'm not gonna play in it with around near any of y'all. Anybody else who does is stupid. Those partaking of it in entertainment, no matter how detrimental this shit's about to be. And whatever. So I hate that. I hate it. But That's what y'all do, right? Shoot fish in a barrel and shit. Mind fuck everybody. Type of shit. I don't know. What do Sin Eaters cost these days? It's the price of a soul. But like I said, it's not today. It's not the last few days. It's not even the last few weeks, months, or a year or two. It's the same shit. The same exact shit I've been watching and witnessing and experiencing since all the way back in the first minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, etc. of Living Ben Hill after Summer vanished. Wildly enough, the same players, but then on top of it, a bunch of you motherfuckers there in a row. I don't really need a handy dandy notebook to do the math or to know what's been happening, how it's been happening, who's been building it, who's connected to it, what the fuck's really up now, you know what I mean? Especially as you gather pieces as you go along as they go. Right? You know, and it was just coming in to a realm where you all existed that was sort of mind blowing, right? And realizing how you all connected back. But the game's still the same. Still the same shit. Jello just a larger scale. Carrying the fucking shit. The chaos, the mud, the jello. You're just doing it for whatever, I don't know. Whatever's the worth of whatever, and price of gold, souls, and oh, that type of shit, right? Most likely for monsters, some variety or another, for some reason or another. You know, watch those same demons and monsters try to feed up the same type of shit. Even the same narratives y'all are going on after all these years. Most of them try to distract Mud, Jello, see who'd bite at bullshit, and look here and look there, and Frank this, whatever that, blah blah, and then whatever scripting fucking idiots you eventually had to insert around, write things for, whatever cornbread and chicken feed and dope-tastic was involved in whatever the hell early on. And with some of you players here, and I've watched the same shit. I've watched Tee and that fucking whorebag, and watched all the motherfuckers on 110. I've watched monster plays on shit. I don't, you know, when you know, you know. Mm. And then I've watched live and real time witnessed experience people trying to feed me the fucking Hammonds, the lights, this, the that. I've watched it, I've experienced it, witnessed it. I didn't bite then. I'm not biting now. Now, I will tell you, unbeknownst to us, there was a fairy tale story time piece of bullshitters. Chaos, mud, jello, slingers, whatever. You know, that eventually became, I guess, where they were gearing to, right? Almost there. We weren't aware because we weren't running around with our asses all like on fire, you know. LE, feds, etc. We're actually in teams that were actually sharing things with us. And we, you know, but you watch the others do shit. And then it turns out the only place they could have been running is you motherfuckers, script writers, is the air because the shit they were, you know. So there's a great deal of things monsters are absolutely unaware of even now. I guarantee you that. One day, that's gonna maybe bite people in the ass. Let's hope so, honestly. Because there's a whole lot that, in my opinion, whether guilty or not of anything to do with summer, don't necessarily be outside of bars for the rest of their lives. So that's just where I stand with a whole lot of it. Now, uh, but I've watched this shit for years. I watched it live and in real time. Was cognizant and aware of it, just as I'm sure Ellie and Feds were. Other teams, special shit, before all the doofuses entered the scene, of course. I can actually tell you that for a fact. So there's that. Now, I can also tell you what the fuck I did when Fred's name was mentioned by anybody, especially in the first few hours, days, weeks. Man, I just keep it to myself, though. Um, and this shit is just so sick to me to watch it. And to watch how these monsters played in it, play with you all. And especially since they actually know something. I just want to reach out and kick them on the balls. Be real honest with you. But then again, I'm sure Feds feel that way about all of us. Can't blame those guys, though. But, hey, you can acquire all the monsters, do dirty work for them, get them to play with you, think you were going to gather whatever. Be my guess, right? But, and I can show you how the cycle was run on you, especially today, leading up to certain things. And who they're connected to, and this there, and maybe all of you didn't catch all of them because you don't watch them all. Hell, neither do I. I download and compile, so I have to listen to half the sorry asses. I don't like their voices, I don't want to, and today I had enough stuff going on. It's like, oh, damn, this is. Yeah, I can basically ignore that for the rest of the day. You know? I can't believe people just went with it. And they're still gonna, don't get me wrong, they're still gonna. And it may actually be beneficial to show you all how you all run like sheep today and by whom and who all was playing in it. And now y'all are taken for a ride. I mean, that is why I created this channel, is to call it Tragedy Pimps. To support other cancer survivors and others in this area and fighters and yada yada. And, hunt these motherfuckers to the ends of the earth. And to be a voice for domestic violence. None of those things have changed. However, some things are harder than expected, and all those things through the years. DVs, turn around, flip, stabbed me sideways, but you can't connect with anybody or know that they're real, whether it be over cancer situations and things like that, or whether it be over DV because people use those to try to weasel close to us, and that's fucking tragic. Or to target us with. It just depends on the damn day of the week and which troll and which modulator and whatever. And honestly, that keeps from saving other people's lives. But hey, what does this realm care? Strange change, prices of gold, sold souls. I'll tell you all this week exactly what the fuck I posted in my short cam. I've kept my compass, my truth, my heart, my spine. I have walked through whatever the fuck this is and everything else. Intact as a human being and a real soul and a human. I have not given in to it. I'm not broken to it. I have not been absolutely destroyed by it. Though, well, it depends on how you look at that. Now it's shredded a lot at years from my life, this, the other, and what's been lost, and definitely not gain like the narratives they tell you, and how it's changed the course things, broken things, all these other things. It matters, of course, but I've kept myself intact as much as possible. And, I don't wear leashes nor choke chains or otherwise for any of these tragedy pimps, helpers, teams, etc., nor will I ever do so. They can all kiss my ass. But anyway, in the way back, alright, unbeknownst to us, because we weren't all like Fred in the road looking for imaginary dogs, or Candace and Gnome with you tragedy pimps and buckets and shit. We're like, hey, we know. What can we do? What's this? What is that? No, man. It's like, I'll do you and whatever you want to volunteer or something, sure, but otherwise, and then everybody's playing games, and you know how everybody is anyway in the years before, and so you don't necessarily take anything as it is anyway, right? You'd be dumb to, because you know exactly what the fuck you're living in that roadway with and around and how people are, and all, but then there's so much chaos you just don't know, it takes a while. But I do know that all the rest of them are playing certain fucking games from the beginning. I ain't one of those. And as you can see, they continue, in my opinion, whatever. Nah, is it really in my opinion? No. Look what lockdown little pimps kept to and Don and his T, 75% trolls, Jody Sue and Mullins and them. Nah. Nah, I'm good. And then half the ones that, all the proof. Nah. 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 Mm-mm. Anyway, so there's been this thing that's been being done since, in the way back, right? It kind of falls into the shit of certain things on marathon, blackmail attempts, fuckery, narratives driven. Because they couldn't really get anything to stick anywhere else. And I'm just going to make it clear once again, for the 4 billionth time, that I know Feds and LE and some of the best and beautiful minds, hearts, souls, experts, teams, etc. on earth. Hold all the beautiful and nightmarish, terrible everything's in all the rooms of data in this, right? They hold all of us in the palms of their little true detective hands, okay? I'm sure the files and profiles and everything else are a bazillion feet high by now. And I know that if I, from the beginning, have had enough to prove that nobody on 125 is responsible in any way for doing anything to Summer, in any way, nor helping anyone do anything to her. Period. Period. Okay? That includes cover ups, fuck ups, mud, jello, anything bad, terrible. Nada, bro. Nada. Okay? And, so I know that if I hold that, Feds hold it. Okay? The rest of you all in the world can kiss my whole ass. And I know, just like I've known for all these years, every time one of you sons of bitches puts us in headlines or taglines or says outright that we're suspects, murderers, POIs, this and that, I've got enough proof that, and that I can take any of y'all with any lawyer of my choosing and prove that you're full of shit. I have no reason to, and that violates civil bounds anyway from the get, but yep. So when you've done that, when you continue that, whatever, right? Now, unbeknownst to some monsters and shit like that, right? That shit exists. It still exists. Fuck all y'all get formulating your scripting your bullshit and trying to sling things here, there, and at everyone else. From all the way back since Summer vanished till fucking now, do you see this? Sit and spin. Because some of us do have actual evidence. Proof. legit things to prove our whereabouts or where it's at. Do you think I've released everything publicly that I and the children hold? No, certainly fucking am not. And I will tell you, including that, like I have for years, there's enough to take any of y'all, anytime you've ever said certain shit about us, to any civil court, for damn sure. And, continued harassment, etc. I mean, anytime, day or night. And that fits in the realm of things I know feds, LA, etc. have. They know exactly where my children and I were, and they know exactly where Monster was. Okay? You feel me? Now, did others inside of Ben Hill realize this when they were formulating scripting and when you dipshits like Prayer Garden and others were helping them in cornbread and chicken feed and whatever else was twizzled up in between? No. And we weren't public out here. We weren't like the alleys and everybody else being like tit for tat or whatever else. And the duh. We weren't here. We were some of the last to come public and to be manipulated and pulled in this realm. And it starts with Candace obviously asking that Squall be on the Facebook, which is part of the blackmail effort, all the bullshit, team crap. And then, goes down, and you find yourself being Emma and Ziggy and shared, and the group thing, just like I did the Proudfoots. They think's so slick it'll pass by feds and LE and how they're manipulating people around cases, shutting their Facebook, having little things like May's drop in so attention's brought on channel, and then the chat's let to be run a certain way, either cleansed or annihilating and eating at certain times. To get them to come into the rooms, they'll also take down people's other social media. So, they'll do all kinds of shit. They especially use kids. You definitely have Squall, Chase, Penny, connected with the actual and absolute teams. And the origin points that connect back to McDonough and Raider and others. All being in something, I don't know, something about if there's a lie that told it type of shit. Weird blackmail attempts, etc., especially by Squall. Weird, huh? And that they were going to put out certain narratives of XYZ, then you fall back into that Chase bullshit, the Candace shit, Senior, that is. And other weird shit, and then the trails where, man, it don't take a genius to figure out what everybody's trying to dream up, Fuck it. I ain't dumb bitch. I wasn't born yesterday. What you still gonna do though is miss me at that shit. Alright? And, like always, there's shit that I know, have been told, have been given, things I've known since the beginning, things I should not know, that I assume others might know that I know. And if they don't, it doesn't matter because they know. And I've just been nice enough not to say and smart enough to bite my tongue on. Then again, there are other things I assume that could be tools and otherwise. There are also pieces in here you all are unaware of. Certain things asked of certain people at certain times, maybe even. So, I'm sure that would be done for hot ass sus folks too, so there's that. Right? Anyway, there's an abundance of things. Now, just like the monsters on that road, who were unaware then of certain things and are unaware now, and the reason I've held so much back and tried to bite my tongue, walk carefully through, is to, we nobody's giving a guidebook, goddammit. I wish that were so. But, anyway, it just is all what it is. Now, that being said, that's part of what makes it so infuriating to see this cesspool bullshit. And those who know aren't doing shit on purpose with these tragedy pimps. And carrying on the, mud jello cast with intention Can't tell me otherwise, considering the grimy ass shit behind the scenes and what we know and old otherwise, and blah blah, and how it's been done and who it's been done with, all the shit. Just not. Right? It's just how I feel about it. And how it is. Ish. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. There's proof of all the fuck. The way I've watched some just flip suddenly at certain times when certain tragedy pimps are hitting ground or visiting hospital, all this changing their tune, playing this shit, stalking all this for a little cash, feeding shit back to tragedy pimps, playing under, shit they've done, the shit they also have tied after doing all this failure. I mean, just, it's straight. It's disturbing. I just know that I don't have anything for any of them. And, fuck you do about it. You call it out, you start to say things, you still don't give everything. There's no damn guidebook. Ish. But, um, man, you, you know you're double edged, but you do your best. Not to be a goddamn bull in a china shop. Anyway. And you do your damn best, hold on to your heart, soul, spine, compass. The best way you know how. And you just keep fighting against the bullshit. Hunting it. Smiling, doing whatever. Try to keep from giving. La Familia. Anyway. Um. No, it's Letterbox time. Anyway. I just. It's all ridiculous. That, that word is just. It's not enough. It's not enough. There's no good descriptors for what it is. I will tell you that, in my opinion, especially after things slowed down a bit. A little less chaos, ways, a little this, that, and there was time to reflect on certain moments and things that initially we had different perspectives about. That I firmly believe Ellie and Feds have known since very early on. Whatever happened to someone. I believe they've known since first days. Probably before even, well, certain hot messes could uh, even be ferreted out and booted out and whatever, inserted in search teams and otherwise. It's just my opinion, though, I guess. My perspective based on things from my viewpoint. From things. I know that I've no, only say this again because I've said it before, and so cat's out of the bag on that, I suppose. But I've heard people be named as guilty. And I tell you, it ain't a damn person y'all over here making look like they are. Yeah, well, I mean, but that doesn't mean those things held, weren't, whatever. Doesn't mean they didn't change throughout time. Doesn't mean that new things, this, that, and there, doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme. Which is why I've, I've always stuck, even before I think they ever said the words all possibilities, I've always been like, I'm gonna try to figure it out here and here. No matter what's said. And I will continue to do that and remain with all possibilities until Feds and Ellie step out in front of a podium and say, I will remain with all possibilities. And as close as you'll, for most here, I mean, all these years it's always been, what's your theory? What do you think happened? This there. Never really said, of course, there's a million puzzles, fires, there's a lot of things that fit in all possibilities. And I mean, I think we covered some of that, how, what, when, where, why, blah, blah, last night in live. I know some caught it, some didn't. It's private now. I probably will not reopen. And, so, for me, I mean, I can say there certain things as here, just whatever, right? And every now and then, you might hear me say one thing or the other, but that is not mean that that's where I'm firmly at or what I actually believe or know or otherwise. Um, what I will tell you and continue to tell you is that I think whatever happened is controlled foul play of some variety. You can take that to mean as you'd like. Um, it's just how it is. Never mind. Thoughts on it. I'll sort of stick there. And that definitely falls into the all possibilities, I guess. But as, you know, and as always, and since very early on, though, once we did, where am I not? Tried to be nice, not to be all with anybody like the others done it, which I wasn't really all that super aware of or anything. Rolled my eyes at most of it, the paper pieces and what we were hearing whispers of, and this there about how all of them, the actual douchebags with all the drug history amongst all the crazy shit, and them tit for tat, and plus we heard out of C&D's mouth, this one's back. And it's like, but we also lived and witnessed and whatever around certain pieces, especially leading up to everything anyway. So we knew some of the fuck, so it's like, so we just sort of rolled our eyes at it, right? And there wasn't no need to come out full tilt to anyone or fuck around or playing Freddy or the fucking hell they were doing over there and in the element. I just don't even know. And Allie and him, I don't know. But they all got. It don't matter. There's pieces. They fit together for all of it. It just doesn't matter. Not tonight, anyway. I guess we'll fit that in some portion instead of responses or whatever from dumbass tragedy, pimp distraction efforts, da da da, script bottom, entertainment, whatever. Somewhere in there we'll eventually get something legit and real and maybe might mean something, especially if others hear it or know to put it together themselves, and then other things can click into place and whatnot. Might be a bit more fucking helpful than stupid chaos mud joke bullshit with intended. Not. It's disheartening. Anyway, let me see here. Where do I want to go from this point forward? Oh, I know. I meant to actually start us off to laugh. Speaking of dipshit team members, tragedy bands, shit. Hit squad. Did I really just? Oh, dude, that's gonna suck. I did not do that. Oh, I did not. Well, okay. Let me see what I did to this device. Jesus Christ. What the hell? Y'all don't even want to know what I just did. You don't even want to know what I just did. Lord, I might be having a touch of sun down there. Uh, yeah, the hell am I not? I know damn good well I am. Oh, for fuck's sake. Good Lord. What a mess. Now, what's happening? I don't know. What's happening? ChatGPT now with less humanity. Yeah. Oh. 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 Y'all know they've been having people kill themselves over fucking ChatGPT and AI. Teens especially. Because certain people and bots think they're fighting them and they really think they're really interacting with it. Like, it's some terrible, dark, gross shit that's happening, especially to the end. And yeah, Cheryl needs to be put back in the box. But Pandora's boxes often have a habit, don't they? Especially stupid humans up to no good. Well, that took all the laughter out of the room. Alright. Now, I happened to fly by a place for about 2 minutes, maybe, last night, because I was like, man, I gotta filter that one through this one. Yeah, there's no way I'll be able to even see what the hell that one's over doing, because I just can't. So I was like, well, I'm gonna see what this is about, right? I knew that something had happened. I just could not, for the life of me, just go watch someone playing. I'd have like some crunchy peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? So, over to Josh's. Flew in for about 2 minutes, skipped sort of to where I could see Jackass up there. Oh, man, I keep this guy. The guy loves wieners. He really does. He has a problem. Oh, shit. Come on now. I'm watching all that. Okay.
In Florida is what they do, and it's very interesting the categories that the law has. They call it what I reside in. There's a whole situation there in itself. Oh. Meaning the topic of any psychic on the internet charging money or whatnot. Let's have a quick look see at some of these Google searches. These Google searches. What happened to my thing? God, he looks like a deer in the headlights. Oh.
No, it looks like cocaine. Too many frozen iguanas, man.
So the whole like getting a thing in a different state than what I reside in, there's a whole situation there in itself. But doing research,
Apparently, he was served with another order of protection.
I found that it's fortune telling in Florida is what they do, and it's very interesting the categories that the law has. They call it crystal gazing and fortune telling and clairvoyance, and clairaudience and urology, astrology, mediumship.
Now, by the time he said that, I was like, that dumb motherfucker just say urology. And then, Josh.
We see urology. And how I can't even. The guy loves wieners. These are these words.
He really
it's
does.
all sorcery and telepathy. It's all very, very, very interesting. But the meat and potatoes behind this is the fees and correct licensing.
Do you know how many of his trolls been in the background? My channel past couple weeks, the mimicking the meat and potatoes or parroting it or whatever. I don't know. It's probably it's just whatever. It's about 4 different levels of modulation. And I want to know what the hell he's shitting on psychics or urologists for or anything. Considering half of his hit and attempted setup squad involves like Juniper and everybody else, like, I got questions, man. And then there was this one I found out through Josh when I skipped through something. I think at the very last minute, he mentions that there's a Brandywine runner, I think. Or maybe it's locked down. So, hell, I can't remember. That explains one or two. Nasty critters running around the blocks lately. He's got some. He's the Ninja Protector by him now. It's like the weakest Benny keys you ever seen. Anyway.
And correct. He was serious too, by the way. Business technology, mediumship, neurocracy, and how I can't even say some of these words.
What the fuck is neurocracy? Did he get bureaucracy and necromancy or something mixed? You know what? It doesn't matter. If you're going faster than damn sewing machine pedal stuck on it, like your grandma's dead foot or something. And your wife's the one that keeps, like, if you're going faster than Cam at the speed of light, and you're literally just, it's what you always get. I'm surprised. We need dictionaries from these people. Like, the prayer gardens, the lockdowns, they need their own little books, their own language written, because at this point, I don't even know what the fuck they're saying half the time. They can call me mumbles all damn day long. But fuck all this shit. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. Urology and bureaucracy or something.
And telepathy. It's all technology and telling and glories that the law has. They call it crystal gazing and fortune telling and clairvoyance and clairaudience and spirit boxing, urology, astrology, clairaudience. That the law has. They call it crystal gazing and fortune telling and clairvoyance and clairaudience and urology, astrology.
Urology. It's wonderful. Anyway, yeah, so that was the funny of the day. The last night. And then I left, and a couple seconds after I was like, anyway. But I just had to know what happened. I guess he was served for, again, by somebody. I don't know, maybe something about him attempting to box people. Something again, I don't know. Challenged him to fights. Josh agreed, but he said that basically White Boy'd have to figure out a proctologist situation first. And I thought about volunteering as tribute, but last time they were planning on harassing me in person before going off and doing the pussy ass fake scream test shit. They didn't have balls to stop by or cross white lines or anything. I wish somebody really would bring back out the tasing video though. Well, maybe one of us might at some point. I don't know. So anyway, then so there's funny. There's funny. And though it's tragic and terrible and tragedy pimp oriented and tampering about with and fucking about with and harassing this boy over here whining and bitching too much about getting served orders protection. He deserves more. When he's out here harassing, targeting, intimidating, doing all the bad shit. You know, he's always there. He just wants challenging people to box him. I just can't with it. You know, the police are at my house. You don't wonder why, buddy. Might be because you keep harassing people in every case. It might be that, trying to weasel your way in, be a spokesman or a hitman or doing all the dirty work that everybody enjoys, but tells the real media they don't. It's great. That everybody's benefiting from, apparently. But tells real media they ain't. It's just the weirdest thing, isn't it? Anyway, hold on. Kind of thirsting to death. A little dehydrated. Um, like I said, it's been a long day. And, it's not over yet. I just come back from somewhere near lots of cattle. And, thinking maybe I jinxed myself, with the whole farrier post, you know? Because this feller come up to me tonight. So, oh dear. And, I don't know. It struck me as weird though, and it's still sitting with me a little wrong. I feel like his face is me or something, but I don't know. Kept trying to place him, and I could have sworn I'd seen him not that long before at another location, but I wasn't paying all that much attention throughout tonight. It felt all that grand, still don't. And it just, I don't know, there's something just unsubtle about it. But very easy chatting with, etc. That's a problem. Career military, that's another problem. Now, he had things that made the ground shake. That's another problem. No baggage. None. You oh. And then my mind went, you know? And then this fellow made sure to make sure I had all the contacts. And, then I got distracted by a load of cattle. And then I realized I really wanted to take all the cattle home more than I did anything else. So then I was like, and then by the time I made it home, I decided that nah, I'm never going to contact that fellow, but I'm still going to want to bring cattle back. So, that's kind of where I stand with that, but I think I almost jinxed myself that post. I think I did. But, like always, generally within a few feet, or before I can ever make it home, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, damn Oprah's. So almost get the best. And you're like, no, dumbass, we don't do that. We don't do that. Yeah, yeah. Common sense. it goes back in play. So I'm like, oh yeah, nope, never it. So anyway, it's just sometimes they smell sort of good. Or they have the right qualities, but then you're just like, no, that ain't worth the game of risk and polo and more of my goddamn life. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. We're gonna do the I'm free, forever free thing. That's just how it's gonna be. So, yeah, that's sort of where that was at tonight. And look, this other fella walked off from this entire load of cattle in the darkness to walk to another place. And I really thought about committing a crime. I was like, what happens if I can get this hooked to a car? See, it's the closest you'll ever find me to anything. Cow napping. And I've never done that either. I think they hang you for cattle rustling still. I Anyway, I just wanted to squish them all and kiss them on the snooze, you know. Boop their little slimy snooze. I just wanted to love them. That's all. I love the cows. And the horses and, well, almost any other critter. And I knew where these were headed. And, meh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. I probably want those cows more than I wanted to date. Turns out. So anyway, let's see here. That was the stupid shit yesterday. I heard so much shit wrong with it. Within like 30 seconds. And I've only listened, and I'm not gonna say this channel's name because too many of the tragedy pimps immediately picked it up. It was seemed like directly in front of everyone's faces in just a few hours span. With oh, there's too much dirty, weird looking shit there. That flavor on that shit when it appeared just out of the blue. Almost like somebody bought him a channel that been hanging out for sale somewhere. Had a fuck ton of subs over years, but like Dolly did, others are dead, da da da. You know, it's channel farming, right? Yeah. And then they started pumping out AI horse shit, chat GPT shit on it. And then it was suddenly in front of all of us, literally within hours. Oh, God. I'd hate for anybody of certain age demographics to catch on to tech in 2025. My goodness. Question is, which one of these fucking tragedy pimps are in this group bought this goddamn channel and did this? I don't know. Probably connects to the first ones being like, oh, we found it. And, oh my gosh. And then all of it, and everybody, what? No. So, y'all keep that shit right on over somewhere. And that it keeps going with, not only the circle as it runs every day recently and leading up to this, but with certain people's shit they're doing in the past 2 days, Ryan, to make certain things look extreme, and it's called these pumped up fucking views on all this other shit. Definitely from what I've seen, looks like it tried to make Fred look like a demon murderer, serial killer shit. And that was just in like the late, like I watched 30 seconds of it autoplay, closed caption, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But then what did that feed into? You know what that fed into today? it fed into pumping up views for Ryan. Yep. You want to go even further back than that? Do you throughout the day? Because I'll tell you, Hiltz played in it. Did you hear Hiltz? Anybody I know, not many did. And Helljoy was mentioned. He might get 3 more hate views. We don't know. Fuck that little piece of shit. He's always been like one of the critters around here. He's as gross as a monster. Can I have the kid now that it's worth money? And I'll wait that to someone. Right? Can I make the kid look guilty? Can I make this? I'll sit there on anybody if anybody will, for whatever reason, make them look like blah blah blah. And then also I'll fuck that. Right? So anyway, I caught this aptly named. He tags Ryan and you know what? Acts like there's some big bad like fight between him. He's got some reason to be pissed off at Ryan. No shit, he did that. Mr. Ryan, blah blah blah, and so can fuck off or something, right? He acts like there's a big whole ordeal happening.
Do more than travel. Play with apps to plan a grand adventure.
Yeah, shit.
I need it, bro. You're doing with I've been, he's been doing his own thing, so I figured I'd tell you that. And secondary, is it really anybody's fucking business?
There it is.
Every fucked up day is always worth it in the moment, cause you can't fuck with me. I stay doing what I wanna. You don't know a thing. I'm still moving on the down low. Settle, that's the fact. Make a way to bring it back. I'm coming home, I need it bad. Don't mistake me for second best. Yeah, you can't fuck with me. I stay doing what I wanna. You don't know a thing. I'm still moving on the down low. Settle, that's a fact. Make a way to bring it back. I'm coming home, I need it bad. Don't mistake me for second best, yeah.
Some shitty music, dude.
Good, lovely afternoon, people. So listen, I'm gonna touch on Ryan Fine Truth here for one split second before we get into the main event, okay? Bro, the boy don't want to talk to you. I've been, he's been doing his own thing, so I figured I'd tell you that. And secondary, is it really anybody's fucking business what Fred Hill and ADB are doing with police? Because it really isn't. Okay? Okay, now that we touched on that simple subject, we're gonna switch over to this neurosis looking motherfucker. Pause.
I think he meant morose looking. But yeah, that was a whole 30-second blip. They get Ryan's name was first. Of course, he gets Hunter in there somewhere. Ain't that weird? And then he just goes on about a bunch of Hiltz bullshit, you know. That's called straight advertising for gearing up for da. As the weirdly built, suddenly bought channel is pumping out ChatGPT and AI narrative day after day in the realm of an hour plus pieces that are entirely ass wrong. I'm sure you've heard Fred and Ziggy advertising for it. Well, even Fred's like, yeah, that shit's wrong. And I'll tell you, that channel is whole ass wrong. But I love that it's going right along with somehow Ryan's shit. You think that's coincidence? And building up the Fred's and Oogie's Boogie serial killer shit right before this lights off tonight. And then, I don't know, you got other weird shit in there, right? Like, I don't know, Long Johns and fucking weird ass shit bungles everything's doing, and that's the button. That's the button I stepped in and connected everything. And I was like, this motherfucker, this tiny little Napoleon's doing it again. False narratives, bullshit, saying shit none of us ever said, trying to, all this other crap, right? They trying to be like, oh, I don't think there were saints around or whatever, and they did whatever. Bitch, no. Uh, but being like, I'm gonna stay on C and D, yeah, okay. But yet the whole video is about, I just can't with that motherfucker. There are a few points I weirdly enough agree on him, but he ain't doing it for no good. No, don't twist it. Some bitch is doing it thinking he's modulating over there. Good guy, bad guy, and fish grease or whatever the fuck it is. Some crusty crab or another. Anyway. So, something about, do I think Andy and Jody Sue were up to no good or whatever, or responsible for, like, other shit, not Summer. But other shit, because now he's changing his tune, I don't know who wanted to jerk off on that doofus and his flip-flops, it ain't me. Y'all buy it and eat it if you want to. Clickbait king there. Anyway, and narrative sucking succubus, Lacostamus piece of shit. Anyway, so, ShamWow. But yeah, no, dude, you're gonna miss me again. He was also trying to tell people tonight that I and Andy had said that Candace and Dawn had, murdered. He'd heard that from my mouth. And I've said that many times, and it's one thing he believes me on. Bitch, where'd I say it? I've said that Andy has thought that from the beginning, and he has. Which makes it even stranger, doesn't it, Thomby? When you move down the line and suddenly he's like, oh, shucks. When all of them visit the hospital while he's dying now, he's like, oh, shucks, Tom's broke dude. And then it's the graveyard shit. And then it's watching about, and then him helping make Fred look certain ways. And then the distraction. It gets a little weird, don't it? Especially when you know the son of a bitch and all them and Fred's and everybody's working for PG and Ziggy and the rest and you. Don't you take yourself out of that, Bungles. Because you had shit to do with that. Everybody watching, everybody from Lane pretending you ain't. Y'all gonna miss me with this shit, okay? And that cemetery shit and also goddamn garbage is grosser than hell. And I believe that's one thing, one of the videos that channel seems to have gone with Ryan. And Fred in the box, man, that shit's gross as fuck. But no, Bungles, I don't think so. I love how you're still like, no, no, I don't think anything to do with anything. This Andy Fred shit's bullshit. It's entertainment. And, But yeah, do I think they had whatever to do, or Jody said what to do over there on 110, anything, whatever, like, I don't know how he put it. I don't remember the word, but it was something like, basically screwing around, being part of their same type of lifestyle, type of shit. Fuck no. Hell no. Not even once, my dude. Didn't hang out over it, didn't hang out with them. Wasn't built like that. Ain't into the same shit in the least. Obviously, went up to no shit with them, for them, or anything else otherwise ever. Now, Andy can speak for his goddamn self. I'll speak for mine, and I'm gonna tell you fuck no, and you can fucking miss me with that nerve shit. I love how you still got that double-edged shit in there, though. But, we'll agree on this shit's, whatever, goofball bullshit at best. It's not good for anything. Nowhere it's gonna be built scripted, whatever. But I believe all the shit. When my shit turns purple and smells like rainbow sherbet. It's one of my favorite lines from Super Troopers. Anyway. And he did. And he said things I've never said. And I've always, I've said outright that Andy has always thought that Candace and Dawn and Grandis murdered Summer. That's his thoughts. We had arguments with But my person's like, I don't know about it, because it wasn't, one way or the other, and whatnot. But, it makes it even stranger for me considering, well, it doesn't make it strange for me. It lets me know what the dummy's doing with all this cemetery shit, dream shit, da-da-da shit, him and back up shit, the way they've tampered with, gotten caught up with by for certain folks, and how far they went in court shit that's there now. They really got to kind of play whether they want to or not. Money, I mean, if you watch him from the time he gets out here, and it's for shit he didn't need, it was a lie, it was based on him going to court with other people who had seen him back at both turns volatile in court, just like courts here around Little and I seen him, and judges and advocates seen him be violent and penchant for, and say even outright. So it's like, no, whatever. They know how deep they're in and how they get the fuck out. Well, there's part of the answer on why they probably continue to play these motherfuckers, or put themselves certain places to watch everybody in town, get word on them, sell back tragedy pimps, trying to get info from anybody and everybody and selling it off and them off, their families off to tragedy pimps to insert in and around, destroy, hunt down, teams to contaminate, annihilate other witnesses, in my opinion, and otherwise, and to basically just poof Summers' real case away. I don't know who that could benefit, probably a guilty party or parties somewhere. But it damn sure ain't for Summer, and it pisses me right the fuck off. And, so anyway, there's Tiny Man over there, saying to the world that he's heard me say, well, I believe what Jody Sue said over and over again, that she and him believe that they murdered. I've never said that. And he has from the very beginning, which makes everything else even weirder. Especially right after the kids and I threw him and Candace Darn playing games together to try to get money from me and weird shit, doing fucking tea games. Then all the other shit just went down the path, and and all this other crap through the years, and then him playing cemetery shit, which I know is bullshit, and then that was to get away from the dream shit and all this other crap and cleansing, and I don't know, you just let them all do what they want to do together, right? They'll have a good tea time. Yeah, yeah, it's called water. Somebody's in trouble. It's the big cat brother. I don't know what he's up to, but there are Odies out there right now. And that was insane. So, he's got spray therapy. And so, anyway, I don't know what he's thinking. Really don't. Anyway. But yeah, I just think it's all absurd. And I really don't care at the end of the day. Where those two idiots land, I just know that you all should start thinking back to how Ryan even got built, at least out in front of the world, from behind the scenes, from here, from the very beginning. And that they come from the psychic thing and this, the other, and the woo-woo, and him trying to get famous realm, pretty much proof out there on his own, right? That he put out that show him to be the math don't add up on that fella, right? It does not add up in the least. Now those are all his own websites and his own things throughout the years. The dude's whole ass problem something about something, right? And that they're on the psychic thing also, but either way, if you think about when they first came out in front of everything, how Ziggy, once again, Pregard and Cher built the shit out of him, along with Deception Detective. It's weird for those two guys to go to those channels that are known to put out false, misleading shit and conspiracy theories and propaganda, ain't it? Odd. Huh? And then they build up a bit. Oh, TM's about a whole nine year old. They know what they're all doing. And then he turns on Sherman, but now he's right back, and blah, blah, blah. And then all this shit. Cher turns on Andy supposedly, and then wants Fred over, and Ziggy's allowing it. And yeah, fucking right. And then Kirsten's over playing this shit. And you know what? If y'all want to buy the circle jerk, it's happening right now. And the lead and feed, and y'all being run amok like sheep, and whatever else you just have at it. Pieces are all here. Hell, you ain't even got to list them. You just got to look at the titles. And then you got to know the origin points. And listen to anything other than Tragedy Pimp. Right? And if you don't, keep an eye on all of them. A lot of people are unaware of how they work together and which way they manipulate you and these active and ongoing cases and what they're really up to and how these channels are connected, how, you know, channel farming is a real thing, and nobody is really, like, oh my gosh, like, Ziggy and Arel's been playing for days, though she's like, can't wait, right? There's nobody here that doesn't understand how that one channel just poofed right in front of all of us suddenly doing material with that many numbers behind it and everything else. And seemingly around with Ryan. There is nobody oblivious unless you're just tickler and the internet. Hell no. Hell no. I think we all kind of get the gist. Alright. Or how certain channels can be done to do certain things. It happens. And that's not unknown. I'm sure many of y'all are also aware that Ryan has several giant pages as well, TikTok, other social media platforms he refuses to even put Summer's image on, or any other messaging in this era. It's weird. And then there's some people, now I'm just saying, some people who've seen a bunch of trolling or false or inflated views come from those channels. But they're, built things and then they fly under YouTube's radar and taking motherfuckers off platforms for that, right? Or during cleansing cycles of YouTube. Oh, hence the reason bulk channels and shit, for sale channels can actually go for quite a bit if you can get them all built up shit to that level. And then different cases and shit are recycled. They're hidden and then they're brought back out. They're sold. One tried to pimp you this, use them, that, use them. They do different things throughout to where they always have a selection of material to where it looks like they have older pieces in the background or been at whatever for a while, but they're actually, there's different shit back there for them to select from. It's called Cancer and a Speech Disability from Surgery. I hope your father doesn't have the same, and I hope you, your loved ones, or nobody else you know ever faces that there, Ben. And if they do, considering statistics in the world about cancer and things, I hope they aren't left with a disability where some asshole like you comes along and terrorizes them for it. How about you, Ben? Maybe if that ever happens, you stop and think about this moment, huh? Bye now. Alright. So anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much distraction. Just never know where they're gonna come in. So yeah, make no mistake, they're all in this together. They're running you about rooms. I'd even go so far as to say that Andy and Fred are definitely fucking involved and benefiting off of it. For sure. And I cannot wait for this turn, because either way it goes, Fred's fucked. Hey, Fred's fucked. I don't care. Now, originally they did come out and say that he was giving polys on Cotton, Van Summers, so they changed that up eventually, but they did outright say he refused to answer the, his wife did that. is helpful. Ugh, whatever. Uh, yeah. Green card, 10K, and wife that'll do anything and anyone for probably more than that. That hooker. She did come out and out that, and I think he said, alright, he refused to answer those because he wouldn't lie for anybody. It's the baseline. So, I don't know, buddy. If that's the case, then that's why whatever it is on Cottons are inconclusive. And he refused to answer baseline for Pruitt and him. But then he gets his ass with some other fucking polygrapher and answers baseline. That's going to make people start wondering why the hell Fred refused to lie for baselines for law enforcement, but not for YouTube and tragedy pimps and whatever dime store Dan they get a hold of. That'll give him a polygraph. Now, hopefully, Bungles, Shamway, everything, you're right. Maybe they'll get a hold of the best, and it's weird you're all like Johnson C and Knoxville and shit. Doesn't that ring a bell? However, some of those wouldn't allow polygraphs for others, so it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Because, Fed approval is given there, some people are going to start wondering. And then they're going to wonder how far, I don't know, certain teams might have played in keeping that from being done. I'm hella curious to see how this turns out. Cannot wait. So let it be. Whatever it is. Let it be. I don't know. It's goofy. Pretty sure if someone was anywhere near a cemetery, that'd already be known. Pretty positive of that. I think all that stuff's disgusting. I think that most of it's disgusting. That PG and all the rest of it, and Forensic. Let's be real. They're all for one for all, okay? And me and now Ryan went back on that. It was like cemetery. I don't even know. I didn't watch that. Don't have plans to. Just like I don't have plans on watching whatever the hell went down tonight. I'm sure. I think that when I'm done, it was like 3K. I'm sure by in the morning you'll see it go up to, I don't know, 7,400,000 though. Or if you give it a week or two, it'll go from 500 views suddenly to like 1,000,000. That's how Ryan's works. He only pays for the slow rolling clicks, likes, and views. They're a little less noticeable to YouTube than those 1,000 per hour motherfuckers are. Anyway, I'd say there ain't any truth to be found. I'd say there's a bunch of bullshit though. But y'all have at it for entertainment purposes or whatever you think should exist in and around missing and murdered children and such. Go right ahead. And if you're gonna be tragedy pimped and sheep, be my guest. I'm gonna keep speaking out about it though and what the hell is occurring. And so anyway, like I said, Fred's essentially fucked from the beginning. I don't know how it'll end. I don't know how. I guess y'all finally figure out if one or the other or anybody was on the road, even though there's already enough evidence proof out here that couldn't have been. And as far as Monster goes, sure, if law enforcement thought otherwise, he done been some deep shit, don't you? You probably wouldn't have heard Pruitt say, nope, you're good, and don't listen to much Fred said, but let's all forget that. No, by the way, Bungles everything, oh boy. I'm sure he's trying to get responses and things, and I'm sure he knows certain things, right? They can keep that in their crusty trap there. And why he's so suddenly oblivious to the fact that Baby Boss has already gotten hold of in the beginning and said one thing, and then Big Boss has gotten hold of and said another later on, is beyond me. I don't know why he's so oblivious. And then you probably don't even want to delve into some of the other things he was touching on, but I'm pretty certain he already knows the answer to, and they would like somebody to state that out openly again, probably in a very short manner, so they can use that as content to do. So I ain't gonna be part of that. Ask all them, but yeah, he's like, oh, bazillion views and this view. Why do they always measure dick length, boxing matches, views and clicks and shit around here? Why is that? These bitches be doing it like, I got more views than you. You got the dudes out here swinging around like it's their thing. I don't know. They're all wholly obsessed with something. And not in like the way that they're calling out the fake shit or the tragedy pimp shit. But they're obsessed with each other's shit and how many they get in this area and like they're really building my. And what is bizarre to me is half of them know they're hiring, and you can watch it yourselves and prove it yourselves that they are buying subs, clicks, likes, and views. You know? And, so anyway, I mean, like, that's what's most absurd. And then damn near every live stream for every one of these years, it's been fake, misleading, fake this, fake that, fake Lolitas, fake script. I mean, just whatever, right? On top of their fake sub and likes and all that. And then they're fighting about them or wanting, like, the silver trophies. I was like, for what? Being fraud? The fuck are y'all talking about views and shit? Shut the fuck up. The only way in which I ever really catalog anything is how people are manipulating them around these blocks, and trust me, they are. They even want to use a fuck of a mind. They do it. Y'all seen it. I'm like, y'all gonna miss me that shit. And then you get one vague threatening background. It's like, bitch, don't mistake me. I will put shit as private and heartbeat, and y'all go fuck yourselves. You ain't gonna fuck me like that from your bought channels and shit. Send shit. No, fuck you. I'll stick with the same, and if you notice, mine really stay around the same they always have, from the beginning until now. And if they get too far out there, you know something ain't right. And it ain't me. It's when I'm doing shit, and usually there's a vague threat to follow about strike or in the background. It's doofus shit, you know? So, I don't know. There's the upshot. They always are. What's changed there in all these years? And objection bullshit, I don't have anything on the screen or running or whatever else. And anything like that's always up in the whatever the hell about section. And I'm only saying that tonight, which is not typical, because this is based on tragedy pimps doing tragedy pimp shit. So anyway, so fuck them. And my name's been out enough of their mouths today, and sort of sick of their shit. Somehow it's supposed to always be about those two ass wipes over and it's good and evil thing, right? Somehow they always gotta insert me. Man, why don't you leave them two to duke it out with their fake bullshit? Fake road, fake this, box that, whatever the fuck else. And don't get me started on that box shit's technically tied into other shit. And how some of these characters tie back to the actual team there. And they're actually under investigation for all this other shit and dirty shit. And meth appearing right after cotton. Don't even get me restarted on that. You know? And then those fucking demons, and some of them around Cotton, obviously. And I do not mean the ones that have spoken recently, in the least. That's not what I mean, and I'd hate for those people to think so. It has nothing to do with them when I'm talking about Cotton's people. Alright, but, others got their asses on line early on, have real connections with those connected back to 110. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. and then they make sure to show up with mass tons of fucking meth. Like, are you, what the fuck? I don't know. They, people been up to bullshit since the very beginning, and it ain't slowed any. And I do, like I've been saying, hold enough proof that Ryan, Jenny, Adrian, others, etc., Prayer Garden, especially during these cycles y'all been seeing, um, full tilt since the Fred, the box, this thing, the cemetery shit, that all those tragedy pimps are in touch with and doing things. And I can even show you how they're having people fuck with us, or they thought, or they think, in order to record and get things. It was not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. But it's proof, and even up until the last few days, and still yet, where they probably do not expect that, it's a whole lot of shit on all of them. And now they've been working with these people locally to do this shit and to fuck with us and to fuck with you all, and working together and in contact with certain folks to help build this shit online. And I'd say it's pretty goddamn fraudulent fuckery, wouldn't you? And all kinds of shit. And for that crew, especially, well, I think Jenny and Adrian have already tried to get us murdered and worse. And that includes Ryan. Y'all dumb, or what? Like, cause for real, y'all know Jenny. And that's the thing about it, right? When Ryan first popped up, who was over there? Jenny and goddamn Adrian, Krama and Gabble. And then they poofed after that started being noted, right? Now you will see them here and there in the same chats, the same places, all this down here and there, and da-da-da, but it got a little too obvious. And then they had to soft hit at him at time when him and Emma got online. We're like, oh, look at this pink outfit and this little creep there. Now, Ryan, you're a little wrong. But boy, they didn't drag him like they do the rest, right? They just had to look like they're on opposite teams so you'd buy it, and so you'd buy that they're really calling out and doing the Lord's work, all them, and chasing tough things. Right? All playing horse shit. But yeah, don't forget where Jenny and Adrian sit with Ryan. And what they've gotten up to, and you'd think that dude would skirt away from whatever. And it's, you know, whatnot. And don't forget how deep Snow Limit played in the Fred shit lately. But did any of us really need any of that to know Fred's fucking lying, or them to go through it when they don't know what the fuck they're half talking about and they're lying too? No, it's to build up the shit that's being done in this group, by this whole group, that's fucking with you all. Seriously. And fucking with all of us. And law enforcement, otherwise. Y'all get it yet? It's all build up. Content. It's nothing to do with truth, justice, America, light the fucking way, advocacy, real, anybody who's trying to do anything real. Maybe chasing crypto reward funds, hiding high crimes, misdemeanors, funneling, cleansing, laundering money, because I can tell you that's happened. And that it's actually benefiting and profiting extremist groups, terrorists, like all that shit funneling through Africa and the UK and shit, especially. Do you think that ain't doing that for a reason? And then those places aren't where some of these extremist groups moving into the area and others. And I gotta tell you, wait until you figure out who's so psychic about some of that in the very earliest days. But and that certain people try to make, it's fine, we'll get there. But when you consider it that way, and then you consider it these same, especially the on the ground provocateurs, are doing shit in political ways, and trying to set shit off and change and shift American politics, voting on it, but then they also do shit over here in other realms like the drama community and true crime, and then mass money is being funneled to them so it might escape IRS, feds, LE's views, and is really funneling real criminal shit around the world. You think it's really, but they think their manipulation, web sleuthing, VPN, all the fuckery, hacking skills. Bitch, if they were all that good, they'd be hired by the feds themselves. fuck out of here. They think they slick with their manipulation tactics of like the Emma Ziggy, Emma Ryan, Emma Smiley variety. And yeah, like Emma Squalls, Big Haze, that type of shit when they play capture the flag with real people around cases to lure them in and fuck with them. You know? So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure she's way over experts and real people's head. I'm sure it just is with the government and stuff. They don't know shit about propaganda or large criminal organizations or how things are. How many cul-de-sac Karens or doctors or others or failed this and who's it's and what's it's or their husbands who are doctors is there who buy things out of, you know. How many of those you've seen in here throughout all these years? Through not just Summer's case, but even Reed's and others do these 2-for-1 thing, you know, and all this. How many do you think out of those are using that as a donate thing, tax write-off shit for their husbands, not so upright business or failing ones, and then they get on proclaim they've been scammed, wasn't necessarily a scam, and then they're actually getting money back from them ways, or I don't know, GoFundMe's and shit are set up for them, and oh god, like, Cam did that. How many of those you seen? And then where's that go? I wonder about things like that often, don't you guys? Well, Bjorn, you can't see an apple because I don't have one. All this stuff's cut out. So anyway, and it ain't none of your business. Have you ever thought about going away? Instead of being a bad piece of humanity. Bye now. So anyway, even if I did, but, you know, I have 3 apples. They keep the doctor away. I don't know. So anyway, don't care. What is wrong with you? Oh wait, that's going into that whole thing. The vague overhanging thing. The baby. There. I'll keep doing that. How about it? Like every other things. No, you know, smokes and phone calls. Oh, I don't know. Certain things you're allowed to see on certain other platforms. And, you know, certain things about dogs. And you just keep on dreaming, buddies. Keep on. Anyway. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what kind of goofy shit. I didn't listen to the fine details and toning or whatever they got going. Alright? Who knows what questions will be asked after all that? I don't care. To me, it should be pretty apparent that it's all some sort of sick fuckery and Mudjello chaos distraction efforts from a whole lot of people who have wanted that since summer vanished. I, for one, am not one of those. I can keep doing that shit. And they can keep doing it with teams closest to all they want. And you tragedy pants. You now want to watch it as entertainment, that's your prerogative. Those of you who don't want to be taken for a ride, I hope you can see it and wake up enough time. I hope you avoid it. I hope you stop watching true crime on any social media platform, honestly. Or viewing these things as entertainment, or not realizing how dark, dirty, corrupt, evil, gross, criminal, and what you're funneling, no whatever. I just you know, they know real people come here because they really care. And then they fuck with you all and use you all and hurt you all as much as they do anybody around these cases too. Or get y'all wrapped up in their criminal shit before you even realize what's happening, you're on the hook, and then you end up being probably half of like these TE motherfuckers over here. In too deep and no way out. I don't know, I always tell any of you though, the same thing I've told you for years. Like I told Cam and Chase and the rest. They're nothing but buffers, placeholders, the ones to take the brunt of if anything happens. So creators and the majors and the players and investment teams can be like, and they can make them look crazy and they can have to set them up in courts. They can set them up for arrest. Hell, I've watched them do it to the main people in and around these active and ongoing investigations. I've watched them do it and had them attempt to do it to I and others around Summers' case, and luckily they failed, but they've tried. They've tried all kinds of fucking shit. Blackmail, they'll always go after your children, they'll have weird people stay in your goddamn yard, tailgating you doing crazy shit, you just never know, false lawsuits, anything they can manage, right? Anything they can do. And then it'll make you look certain ways or get you discredited. Nobody listens to you if you do turn around and you tell on your tragedy event buddies. But I'm telling all of you right now, like I said for years, the best thing you can do, if you think you've gotten in too far or too deep, and you want out, and you don't want to be held accountable at some point in time, future date, sleep on it, whatever, right? Or you start feeling threatened, blackmailed, start having weird people show up in your yard, because it is a goddamn thing with this group, make no mistake about that. Fear put into you for your children, weird monster store, all sorts of shit, to get you back in line or to keep you going with whatever they want or what they want you doing. Don't let them catch on. Do not give anybody in Discords or what you think of your tribe or people or whatever in these chats or Discords or other platforms or whatever any inkling that you want out or that you're on to somebody that's there. The best thing you all can do is go immediately to law enforcement, FBI, whatever 3-letter agency, and you give them whatever data and access to whatever you have to show how this group's working and what they're doing. Alright? That way you're not left as the buffers. And so that these people and what they're doing in all these cases for so many years is caught up. And it's easier for things to be handed down on document levels that's there, and it makes it a little easier to stop this type of criminal ass shit around the worst crimes of monsters, and nobody needs blood on blood sports and entertainment on top of it. So, it's best advice to any of you. Walk through the streets and trust no one. And a lot of times what you're going to find is your tribes are actually connected with or manipulating you. If you think in the year 2025, a lot of these creators and shit don't have methods and immediately see who you are. Do you think they can track down all of us and everything in seconds, and they can't track you all down even under your little hidden identities, your YouTube names? Oh no, but you made Naughton, your grandkid made this, whatever that, da-da-da-da-da. You're mistaken. To know your finances, what you have, where you work, all the things in seconds, And then to make sure they're little helper scammers, and trust me, there are those, and those chats don't get near you, make you feel part of a group, part of something special, to make sure to say your name every time on shit to manipulate. Yeah, watch yourselves, guys. Watch yourselves. This place is not what you think it is, even for you all as viewers and those who are entertained. It's dark, deep, dirty, and dangerous. Most of the real crime you'll see here is that being committed by these tragedy pimps every day that violates civil, criminal, federal laws and international right in front of your faces, and what's being done to a whole hell of a lot of you by carnival barkers, pretend scam, and all these others, and chats and all that. Oh, there's real crime here for sure. Most of it every day takes place by real criminals, junkies, 19 identities deep motherfuckers motherfucking around in a criminal organization with full-on teams by investment, crypto, etc., and linked to the worst of the worst things you could imagine. Yep, for the most part, the majority of criminals you see every day are right in front of you in some stupid avatar with some idiotic intro video and, some handy dandy imaginary notebook, pretending they care and hashtagging everybody's name and missing and murdered children's names wrong, and women, and they're not like PG. She was calling Xanax, y'all. And then really started talking about how Sunday was, the day of the Lord. But wait, what happened to the stuff? There's so few calling any of this shit out in real ways. The anti-tragedy pimps, most of those are criminals too, and criminal helpers, and they will siphon up receipts. Anything you give them, those hate channels, a lot of the creators aren't hate channels, y'all. They're where the creators build so people who actually hate those creators or want to turn them in or know info give those receipts or say the wrong word or comment in chats or in those places. And then those creators behind the hate, and they give all it over the creator and you're targeted like a motherfucker. Shut down, silenced, threatened. Never mistake a hate channel, a clip channel, or an anti-tragedy pimp channel for being what they say they are. They're used, built, and often in connection with. Most of these people are not calling anything out in a real way, in a linear way, putting it all together, running through any of the pieces and parts that go together to show you all. They do stupid little dance off, and oh, look at Ziggy, she's shopping at the dollar store, and oh, look, Benny's like threatening people with carrots, and oh, God, like fucking lockdown supposedly got Doug's dick on there, right? That's about it. That's what you see. That ain't anti-tragedy, but that's helping and in concert with while pretending you're not. And some, sometimes we'll put out real receipts, call one this there, but then they stick on just the one, and they don't call the crimes of others, and then you'll see in their chats and stuff, others damn good and well are connected with all that shit. And it's like, wait a minute, why aren't you calling out your people in your hive over here for the same shit in your own chat that are connected clearly with this person? See, it's always a giveaway and a tell to. Dead ass. Right. So anyway, I think that's about it for tonight. I want to eat. I'm hungry. And I want to watch something. And like I said, I'm not watching the main affair bullshitter tonight. It was enough seeing the room rotation. And man, when it comes all down to it, I've watched the same shit from day one on. First couple hours, I watched it This when the first president for it is Dominic Fred. Like, I don't need all the bullshit. I don't need to see all the crap as it coalesces and does whatever throughout all these years to this shit show. I've watched it, I've witnessed it, I've seen it. I know it for what the fuck it is because lived there around as it was happening in real time after Summer vanished. And I also know what the fuck I lived around, near, some of whom I've known my whole life, and otherwise, and decades and years, ain't nobody got to tell me. Although the helpful, like, well, there's a reason you can't maybe put a finger on it. It's because there's so many varieties of. Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I think that fella's right. I think that fella's right. That was a helpful moment. Otherwise, no. I know what the fuck. Right? And I know that LE knows that I know what the fuck. Because I was like, the fuck? Y'all see this shit, right? Now, yup. Here's my dog. So, this is nothing more than in there in person. And now, yeah. So, same shit. Tragically enough, it's years down the road now. And it needs to stop. Every day I want to scream, not one more second. Not one more motherfucking second. 1 second was too long, it was too many. June 15th itself should never happen. But every day I have to slow blink. And even those around me tonight in the darkness. Like, it's hard to believe it's been this many years. All of us feel that. It's unbelievable to us, even though we know it's so. And it was so hard to start moving from a stasis point into where time was sort of moving again, or not feel like it was always the same day, but moving forward. And I still don't know that I've felt time necessarily correctly, but it's mind blowing, man. It's been this many years. And I know tonight, and this one's for Bungles. These are talking about Summer's deceased and all these other things. And that C&D did it, and that's where he's staying. I'm gonna tell you something. Even in private and in person with people I've known my whole life, tonight in the dark, when their opinions are the same as that, or that Summer was sold, or that C&D and Candace Sr. murdered or covered up, or whatever, I don't even answer them. And I still go through all possibilities. And I do often when people say, please not say things like that around me. Because I try to still have hope, even though I know stats and things, but if all possibilities remain, so does hope. And there are a few possibilities where there could be a great deal of hope. So I prefer that people not speak about her that way. And often people forget that we lived in there and we know her, even those closest to me or have known me my whole life, and they'll say things like that are fairly, and it bothers me. I don't want to hear other people tell me how Summer's dad or C&D did it, and I don't want their or extreme detail, like, in their thoughts on it. I don't want to fucking hear shit, okay? I'm obviously not unaware of reality in my head, but voicing it, hearing it, coming from, I don't, it's like a brick wall, okay? So, even those closest to me get the same shit, which is, I'm not saying shit to you, and please do not say that shit. And I'll stick with all possibilities. I will, however, stay in the realm of controlled foul play of some variety. And I will wait for alien feds to say who is responsible out in front of a podium. Hopefully after they've found Summer. And that's just how the hell it is. And I will not give up hope on her. Because if there's hope, there's hope. Even if it's this small compared and stacked up against the rest. That does not mean I'm stupid or oblivious to all possibilities. And so, Bungles, you need to stop putting words in people's mouths. Trying to, I don't know, modulate the rest crew like half years. Fuck right off that. Yeah, do. That's whatever. But, anyway. That's just where it is. What's up? At least for mine. I don't give a fuck what the fine details are over there. I don't give a damn. Maybe I'll hear, all things are compiled, but maybe I'll hear whispers, and maybe I'll have something to say later on about some of it, but I doubt it. And that fucking manipulation model, that shit ain't flying no more, like I told y'all, so there's just that too. And, I know, and I think y'all know too, and there's enough proof and evidence there. Dummy wasn't on the road. There's pretty much evidence there, in real journalist pieces and the first footage from there that, obviously cemeteries were gone over, had eyes on them 24 hours a day. The best equipment was taken over them already. This all this shit and this commingled garbage that's been going on is a good versus evil nonsense distraction shit built by a team that links right back to there. I don't know. Can y'all take a guess as to where I'm from? All you really gotta ever do is ask who benefits the most. Or who's afraid the most. Even if not guilty. Who wants everybody else looking everywhere else? And have since the beginning. For whatever reason. And that doesn't speak of guilt or innocence. It speaks sometimes of what monsters do. And what they're used to in lifetimes of it. And repeated patterns and behaviors with receipts to show it. Probably to better minds and hearts than might be just reams and reams of it. You just never know what's out there. So anyway, you guys, I'm out of here for the night. Y'all enjoyed the show, I guess. Look here and look there and look wherever else. But watch these streets are treacherous. Alright. Now if you don't mind, I'm gonna have snack, food, watch something. Oh! Last note. Speaking of, you know what? I'll save it for more because I don't want to think about it. What the fuck? That is so far off. Why are they running at 3? gotta be a different sick. Cause that ain't even from the right area. Hmm. I don't know. They're rather happy they found something, but I don't know. Anyway, um, it was a very odd time. So something was had them out later. I guess they finally got whatever it was. So anyway, yeah, I'll just leave what I was gonna say for later. But y'all enjoy the spec, the vast cosmos, the little things. Find joy in dance and all the storms and the sunlight. Find your favorite tune, your favorite snack, your favorite people. Hold them close. Never fail to say I love you in and outdoors. Never go to bed angry. Be good pebbles, sparks, and voices when where you can. I promise. Changes lives, saves them around the world. Changes the world in which you live in. Never forget humanity outside of these stupid boxes. Alright? It's not as dark, deep, and criminally as you think it is either, you know. Get out there once in a while and make a stranger a friend. Alright. Get back in touch with the world around you. And as always, if you don't care, please share the DV/Universal Hand Signal for help. Canada does save lives across the board. Crimes occurring, health emergencies, public settings, private home settings, you name it. And as always, please continue to share Summer's picture, information, and call her by name. And y'all know what I mean by info and how to change out the links to real journalists, real information sources like law enforcement, local surrounding, state police, TBI, FBI, etc. And if you will tonight, because I mentioned these tragedy events, what they're doing, and all the other cases, please do the same for Sebastian, Layla, and Holland as well. Especially because all that Ryan's inserted and everything, these people thing, you know, and whatever. And Jenny and Adrian's and the rest, oh my, right? So anyway, and the rest, I mean, seriously. And, I suggest you the same for Jack and Lily, who they're all latching on to, and others. Please, it's the most tangible way you can help these missing children and young adults. Okay? Some of whom are mothers with little ones who miss their mamas. They matter. They always matter. Help bring them all home. Help law enforcement bring them home by sharing tangible things. Or, you know, anything real, man. Anything not tragedy pimped up at this point. Let's stick with real sources. Because no matter what and who's speaking around any of these cases, even our dumbasses, the thing is, all these things you always have to understand do not make the things we say things, the things we witnessed, heard, lived around, doesn't make those things. Doesn't mean they count for anything. Our perspectives are just that, and it takes a whole hell of a lot more to put cases together, and so many people, and it's what means why they do all the detective work, and they get statements from everyone around everything, and then they compile, they go through, they discern what is what, and then they come up with the answer, the truth, and they do the hard work. And they are the ones that care the most and are given the least credit. Right? So, y'all keep that in mind. But, I'd say avoid these streets at all costs. So. Anyway, y'all, you have a good morning, good evening, good night. I hope you have a lovely day, morning, night, whatever. Look up the stars, the sky, the moon, sun. It's a big universe out there. And we're all just very little things living on a little speck. And we only get a short time here. I promise there's more here on the speck in your lifetime than just pain and darkness. Algorithms, boxes, AI, ChatGPT, fear. We only get one life, folks. Try to go live it a little. Much love, guys.